Satnam. To everybody out there, and Light on Kundalini has now Annette Knopp, and we'd like to introduce her from Blue Spirit, Costa Rica, in the most amazing blue zone. We've just come off retreat and enjoying the ocean daily and retreating in other people's company. Everybody's always invited to join in all the workshops here. It's just one big family. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and for spreading the message and teaching and inviting everyone to participate.
So, I know you're an amazing teacher, and I've taken your classes while I'm here, and I was wondering if you would just do a slight meditation to tune us in together, to bring us into the space.
Okay. So there are many different ways, obviously, to come to meditation, because for me, meditation is our true nature, is already here. But so much in our fast-paced cultures and through what has been taught to us, we just miss out on it, we overlook it. So this meditation would be just, you can have your eyes open or closed, and you just come back to the basics for a moment, just feeling how your sit bones make contact with the chair or the floor, wherever you're sitting. And feeling the breath, not changing it, not directing it, just feeling the natural flow of your inhale and your exhale. Feeling the temperature in the room, how your clothes are wrapped around the skin. And then really letting everything just be the way it is. So whatever is felt or experienced in this moment, as much as possible, just refraining from changing, trying to get to a better experience, trying to come to any state, just letting go, just allowing yourself to simply be. It's really about relaxing into what's already here. And coming to a very deep state of listening with the entire body. In which every experience can just arise and fall away.
You know, that space immediately brought me to Michael's class, which was the Qigong class, and holding the ball of Qi, our balls of Qi. And he taught us how to spread the Qi all around us and move with the Qi, exquisite, he called it, energy. And it's incredible when you say, just be with now, be with it here. Because we're so busy in the world, we don't give each other any time anymore to just sit together and be. Because I think ultimately we're shy.
That's right. I think so. I think also, apart from shy, we also have never been taught how to be with experience. So there's so much in the way we live that leads us continuously to distract or trying to come to a better place, so that we actually never learned how to make friendship with whatever's our experience right now. So in a certain way, we seem to be always on the run, not just outside, but also within ourselves. And I think as human beings, we all have just a normal package of, human experience where, there are losses, there are pains, there are disappointments. We also have some heartfelt desires of something that maybe we want to share in our lives. And we cannot live just on the surface reality of things, as I call it. We need to learn how to be in a right relationship with everything and everyone as the expression of one spirit. And to me, that starts really within myself. So, as an example, we have experiences with other people that might upset us, and our culture often has taught us to immediately blame or try to mediate and change things outside. And I like to really assist people, clients or people who come to my classes, to first really go within. So taking the attention away from the apparent outside and then see how is that held within you. And to become unconditionally present with whatever feels like upsetting or changing, and see what happens from there when we become unconditionally present, when we do not try to change or fix our experience. Because what happens then is we really inhabit the infinite that we are, the infinite consciousness, the love that we are. The love. Yeah, attention is love. So when we give this unconditional attention to that experience that feels uncomfortable, unpleasant, without trying to change it, we approach what feels knotted and separate, and then it can start to open. So
by immediately adding love.
Yeah.
To the experience that's contracted,
yes.
By wrapping the love around it.
Yeah, it's almost like even less than that.
Even less.
Even less, yeah.
Just a thought.
Not so much a thought, but I think the only thing what we really have is how we use our attention. And we can also say intention. But attention basically is awareness. And awareness is also everything that is awareness. So the way we use awareness, which in itself is like a soothing blanket. It's not rejecting everything, it doesn't have any judgment. So if I approach within myself something that feels knotted and not comfortable, just by acknowledging it and honoring it as it is, without trying to make it into a happy experience, then usually what's contracted opens. So, and that's a way of how we can start to work really from a different way with things in our life and really have very profound changes with that.
And it doesn't only have to be the spiritual aspect of
everything.
It's at the desk, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. It's at the desk.
It's at the factory, it's at the desk, it's at the grocery store, it's everywhere we go.
Everywhere, yeah. Where the rubber meets the road, as I say.
I like that.
Yeah, where the rubber meets the road.
I'm a car, I like race cars, so I think that's a good one. The wisdom and the medicine of the divine feminine. Can you talk about, we all look at you, women and men, look at Annette, and we see this amazing wisdom and this amazing divine beauty and grace. And I know we have similar, experiences about beauty and about travel and about living in different countries and states and different careers, and so we've really been through the feminine, probably as sisters, soul sisters, but not together, but apart, right? And other women along these tribes have been experiencing this major change in the universe, right, with the divine feminine. It's hot here in Costa Rica.
That's why people come here.
It's hot and it's so lush. This is not because I'm hot. This is because the weather's hot and the ocean's here. So
Yeah.
this is beautiful. This is how you always feel in Costa Rica. Always feeling very detoxifying.
And luscious.
And lush. So I know this is such an incredible time for women and men to be taking on new spiritual practices and lifestyles and disciplines. Can you talk about the wisdom and the medicine of this?
Well, first, I really want to say, obviously, we all carry feminine and masculine energies. But what it seems like, for many centuries, I think the wisdom and the medicine of the feminine has not been really taken into account, has not been appreciated. And I think we see the consequences today, geopolitical, but also on how we move in life, our very lifestyle. And I like to give that image of a mountain. Like the masculine is that principle, that force within us that likes to move from the bottom of the mountain to the top in a very efficient and direct way. So it's a principle that's very action and goal oriented, and it's beautiful. I bow down to it, and we need that. But the feminine is that part of us that is just really happy about just circling around the mountain, or maybe gathering some herbs, or sitting there in the shades and just having a lovely conversation with someone, or a picnic. So if we take those principles and look at how much do we allow this feminine really to be part in our lives, there's already where we see there's an imbalance often in a very personal life. Now on, let's say,
But when you say there's an imbalance, we see an imbalance.
yes, an imbalance, yeah.
Is that how do we measure that that's an imbalance?
Okay, I think we have to really become very honest about our daily experience. So, for instance, with many women, sometimes we can get exhausted, or some women feel really fragmented, or they feel disempowered. And they try often through means, and often masculine means of power, to feel empowered. And there's not much teaching, not much reflection out there to really come more to what is the feminine, what is that love that we actually are. To me, the feminine is that aspect of love as well. And the masculine is a little bit more that discriminative wisdom. So even like for women, we feel often very separate from love, and we try to get love from outside. And so I think, and that's a very big theme for spiritual teachings for women, to really explore this. How can I get in touch and really recognize the love that I am? And how do I actually realize and live this in a daily life?
So you obviously...
We will need to edit this.
We will. I don't think so. And it's perfect.
That's quite
So
beautiful.
it's really fantastic. This is the truth, first of all, because you've experienced the other side to know this side.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
So,
a lot of suffering.
A lot of suffering.
Yeah. About intimate relationship and not feeling accepted, appreciated, beautiful. I mentioned it to you the other day. Like,
I love that.
Like 15 or 16 years ago, I was someone who would go to the gym every day, and I think I had the perfect body, whatever that means, And I felt starving inside. I felt empty. I felt ugly. I felt lonely. It was just a lot of suffering.
That's unbelievable, because there's no way you could have ever been any of those. And yet you created that.
Yeah.
So that's our work, isn't it? As we age more beautifully with the grace and the wisdom of the diet, the astrology, the numerology, all the different modules and modalities of yoga, all the yoga. Kundalini yoga,
Yeah.
you know, and Muksha yoga, and the ones we're all experiencing here, and the shaman from Costa Rica, and the medicine. This all gives us who we truly are, and then we fall in love, don't we?
Yeah.
And don't you think, so was it that you fell in love with you, and then you could find your beautiful husband? Or?
Yes, it's sort of, I feel like it's almost like falling more in love with what's beyond me. And at the same time it is me, but it's not that little separate me. But the spirit and the preciousness that really permeates and animates everything. And it's also, I think what it's also is like this sense of unconditional okayness.
Okayness?
Yeah, a sense of unconditional okayness, because maybe sometimes, you know, people think a spiritual experience has to do, well, with fireworks and spaciousness and oceanic bliss.
Right.
But what it boils down to, and I'm not saying these are not all wonderful experiences, but there's like this constant underlying okayness. And that's what I really like to point out, because it's closer than our own breath. And when we really connect with that, things start to look very different. And from there comes the beauty, from there comes the contentment, from there comes that natural intelligence that we all have. I'm not special in any way. This is all that is. And it's just for us here to recognize and relax and breathe it, live it, and
And not compare and compete, and it's a beautiful message. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so grateful, and we're so grateful, and we really want to invite you to be able to share more wisdom with us on Light on Kundalini, and just bring all your wisdom and grace from this blue zone into our normal lives that we all have to go back to soon, tomorrow. And just remember us in your prayers. Because we only get to come here once a year or twice a year. But it is really the most extraordinary place, because I had the 7-day retreat, and I came 3 days before the 7-day retreat, and then stayed 3 days after, and the unfolding keeps unfolding of the spirit. So I encourage.
I think it's the land, really.
The land.
So much. The land holds us here so sweetly. And I think that's the other beautiful aspect of Costa Rica and of your spirit, is that you really come to a beautiful relationship with spirit as nature, and the honoring of that, which to me is also the return of the family, the honoring of the land, the honoring of everything here, not just spirit up in the heavens and sitting in the cave and solitude, but spirit as this beautiful abundance, and to take care of that.
Oh, they figured out to come with me to the lights.
But no.
Her gas down there. So